Whenever you're ready, line president.
Oh, are we ready? Is the time? Yeah. Oh, yes, we're what? 2 minutes over.
Barry says he's already hit the link. Is he with you?
Barry's here, yes.
Right there.
He's okay. I can't see him from here.
Put your view on gallery view in the upper right hand corner.
Oh, okay. Because I can. Oh, okay. Now I see everybody. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Two ways
I
to view
remember
everything.
George.
Well, look who's trying to
Aaron.
Let's see if he gets on.
Okay.
It's Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah.
No, it's another.
Last meeting, he had trouble getting on for some reason. He doesn't have video, and he doesn't have audio. So I don't know what he's doing.
Rolling blackout. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's Aaron.
Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Is this Hawaiian shirt night that I didn't get the memo on or something?
Yeah, well, if you'd read your emails, you'd know.
Yeah, well, okay. All right.
Let's see. How many of us got Hawaiian shirts? 2? 3?
Yeah.
Well, I got my badge
President.
and my pin. That's about it. Anybody heard from Finesh? Do we know where he's traveling the world someplace?
I think he's at home, but I don't know why he's not attending. I don't have all the answers, that's for sure.
I called him a couple of weeks ago.
And what were you doing in the Eastern Sierra, Steve?
Hey, I was camping, backpacking, bird watching, peace of mind, very therapeutic. So
Thank you.
it was heaven.
That is cool.
Yeah, I went, and I don't recommend this. I went with a pack station from Rush Creek or Rock Creek, and went into the John Muir Wilderness with this outfit. So it was pretty good, but they kind of ran out of food the last day. So
It's not a good thing.
yeah,
Call it a pack
You
station?
either overate or didn't pack enough.
yeah, and but it was still a good thing. That was just for 6 days out of the 15. So
Okay, let's begin our meeting.
I lost you.
You're not, well, you can find us. We're always here.
Okay. I'm going back to the link.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your window's just closed. You're still connected.
Oh, yeah. You got me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. Oh, and Barry?
Oh.
There's
Oh,
Barry.
here, you can listen to it.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Barry didn't have, I guess Barry doesn't have a microphone on his computer.
Sound? The
Yeah.
sound's not on. There. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Are we all technically good now?
We're all good, Bob.
10-8. Yeah.
All right. We're gonna have. We're gonna have.
You're going
George-
to introduce us, Lyle?
No, just stay with us. We'll get to you. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Good.
All right. We're gonna have George. Will you do the Pledge of Allegiance? If Lyle can put up the. There we are.
All right. You all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of
America
and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do I hear Al Gentili?
Yeah, there. Could you hear my voice?
Yeah, Al.
Hey guys, I'm sorry we're checking in late, but we've been trying to get through for 20 minutes. But please proceed. I'm happy to be here.
All
We
right.
got your voice, but not your face.
He's on a phone Joe?
Yeah, we're on the phone. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, guys.
All right. Lion Zenny, would you do the invocation, please?
Dear Lord, we offer this gathering to you and ask you to bless it. With your wisdom and grace, we thank you for this opportunity to be together, to grow in our love and service of you and of each other. We ask you to enlighten our minds to know what is true and just, and strengthen our wills to carry out faithfully what we come to see as our duty. Amen.
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 Well done. Okay. Well, now we can all start introducing us. So start up in the corner. Lion Joe, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
I'm Lion Joe Farah, Club Secretary.
I am Lion Zenny Lohon, current Vice President.
I'm Lion George Saleh, past president.
Lyle Workman, treasurer.
Lion Stephen Martin, Lion at Large.
And Aaron doesn't have his mic on. Turn your mic on, Aaron. There you are.
Lion Aaron Strauss, visitor from Daly City Host Lions Club.
Okay. And
Lion
Alan.
Al Gentili, past president.
Hey.
Good.
Hey, Simmer Pie.
Yeah, very past presidents. Yes. Okay. All right.
How about yourself?
Oh, yeah. I'm Lion Bob. I'm the president. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Lion Joe, do we have anything, correspondence that we should be handling, talking, you know?
Yes, since the last meeting, we've got two letters. One is the traditional letter of gratitude from the Lion's Eye Foundation with a message. The Lion's Eye Foundation acknowledges donation from the San Francisco Geneva-Excelsior Lions Club in the amount of $200. And on behalf of the foundation's officers and trustees, we would like to thank you for your very kind and generous monthly donation of $200 to the Lion's Eye Foundation.
Cool.
And then we have a very lengthy letter from San Francisco Marin Food Bank. And it's 4 pages and in depth. And if anybody would like to read what they have to say, I'll be glad to forward it to you. Just let me know.
And that's it?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, before we read the minutes of our last meeting, we do have 2 speakers with us tonight from the Comprehensive Medical Care for All Workers. Great. All right. The Coalition of Concerned Medical Professionals. They spoke to us, according to our records, back in 2009 when I had a dinner at Bertolucci's. We all remember Bertolucci's. Michelle, where are you? You're over here someplace. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Michelle and her associate Barry are going to talk to us. Michelle is a former social worker. She has been on the board of directors for the Coalition of Concerned Medical Professionals since 1986. She served as CCMP's operation manager from 86 to 98 and is a certified medical advocate for both medical and dental benefit cases. However, during the COVID-19 pandemic, she is supervising the pickups of over 3 tons of fresh produce and other food each week, which CCMP delivers to organizations of low-income workers and to the homes of CCMP benefit recipients with special diet needs. She'll tell us how we can help them and for some preventions and follow-up campaign. Miss Michelle, you have the Zoom.
Okay. And I want to just say my associate is Barry Pearl, a retired city planner, and he will have a few words to say also. But I want to thank you, first of all, for inviting us, and we're very happy to be speaking to the Lions and to your particular Geneva Mission Lions Club, which I do remember, the wonderful dinner at the 2009 event. And George, who was the president then, right? I remember. Now, more serious note, our lives and our well-being hang in the balance. In our country with a $3.8 trillion health care budget, and yet we rank 26th among industrialized nations. And in terms of life expectancy, we rank 46th. And we have to ask ourselves why and how can we do better? And in the pandemic, the CARES Act gave $500 billion to wealthy Wall Street corporations, and only a third of that to be split between medical facilities, PPE, the CDC got some, and food programs. Now we know that our medical industry has been, from all my life, a high profit medical industry with emphasis on profit. And over or about 1/2 of low-income workers in this country have trouble accessing medical care. That might be for no insurance, but it might be for insurance with the inability to pay deductibles and copays, and for long waits at clinics. Many reasons why people turn to us because they cannot get the care or the complete care they need. The pandemic has only exacerbated this and hit low-income workers the hardest. We at CCMP, Coalition of Concerned Medical Professionals, we started in the Bay Area in 1976. We're all volunteer. We don't take any government funding. And we're made up of all kinds of medical professionals, from doctors to lab techs and all that, but others also, professors, students, housewives, business people, and really anyone who agrees that healthcare should be a right rather than a privilege. And for these 44 years in the Bay Area, we have trained medical advocates, volunteers who work with our benefit recipients and follow a case through and find the best health outcome for the condition. And if that is helping get access to an existing program, government program or otherwise, and helping get full care, that's great. But in most cases that we're working with, that means that part or all of what is needed needs to be provided by volunteer services from the medical professionals that we know or that we recruit for the cases. And that's not only doctors, but also dentists, optometrists, pharmacists, labs, specialists, physical therapists, and others. Maybe I've covered it all, but you get the idea. We have to go to where we can get the resources that we need. In March, we began immediately with volunteers on the phone from their homes. Very few people in the office, a couple of people, but people on the phones contacting the low-income workers we know so well from our files, and people began calling us, 15 to 20 calls a day. But we also called, and we asked people what they needed, and we reached people, the food service workers, the hotel workers, the in-home chore workers, other low-paid medical workers. You hearing me? Everybody hearing okay? I hear people kind of leaning forward. And and asking what people needed. These are people mostly without insurance, or as soon as they lost their jobs, then no insurance, and mostly people of color. We began helping people get tested for COVID for sure, and there was a lot of people ill already or worried they needed to get testing to continue a job or whatever. And then where needed, getting people treatment. And I'll give you some examples. We also started increasing our nutrition program immediately and began picking up about 3 tons of donated food from the produce market, from other food companies, and getting that out at social distancing, but getting it out, a lot of it through organizations that we partner with of low-income workers, and our volunteers helping and sorting and bagging and delivering that to homes in need, and always mindful of the protective gear and the social distancing, of course. I'm told by I coordinate mostly the West Bay, the medical benefits, the food pickups, and so on. I'm told by our East Bay comrades that that we're picking up about 6 tons of food now a week and getting it out immediately. Examples of cases we're dealing with. A man and his son were both suddenly unemployed, and they both felt ill. And they called us, and we helped them get tested, and they were definitely positive with COVID. We found out they lived in a household of 6 people. We helped all of them get tested, and 3 out of the 6 were positive. The whole household had to quarantine, so we helped them with food throughout the quarantine period. Another example was an ice cream vendor, a street vendor. Immediately, no income immediately when the shutdown happened. And he felt ill, so ill that he had called 911, but he was told he wasn't severe enough to get help sent to him. So we talked to the director of a local medical clinic. We had to advocate for the man to be accepted there. He was tested. He immediately had to be transferred to the community hospital and the county hospital and get on a ventilator. We did follow the case, and he eventually got home and eventually survived, but only because of our intervention. A third case was a 61-year-old woman. Her doctor called us, knew us, of course, and called us because she tested positive for COVID, and she is the caretaker for her parents who are in their 90s. They have medical insurance, but not for home medical visits. So we had to find a way to get them tested. They both tested positive for COVID. The mother had no symptoms, but the father was ill and was transferred immediately to a hospital. The mother had other underlying conditions which she couldn't get to her other doctors because of the COVID situation and the limitations on visits. So we helped get that taken care of. It's a little bit longer story, but we helped with that. Now we're seeing people being discharged from hospitals or discharged from treatment without the proper education, without the quarantine measures. Many social workers are telling us they don't know how to access the hotels. Counties are paying a lot for hotel rooms, but they're going underutilized. We, in some cases, got direct access to those hotels and helped people get quarantined and separated, quarantined out from their household that way. But people going home are not helped with how to get food or sanitary cleaning supplies. And people who don't get help with quarantine when needed, often they'll try to go back to work, and that isn't so good when they're still ill. Now, even during the shutdown and as things start opening up, we are starting to get people back to dentists. I've been the advocate on 3 dental cases, 3 appointments just in the last month. We got eyeglasses, got back to an optometrist. I think in the East Bay, they've gotten a couple of more of those. So we're trying to get back on track, and people are coming to us now more with other health issues again, and we need to get more, we will be getting more of that dealt with. During all this, I might have mentioned that at the beginning in March, seeing this would be long-term, we set up a COVID prevention and follow-up campaign committee. And hopefully you've seen the flyer that I got to Bob, and I think he said he got out to you, or he will post our COVID-19 flyer. And we've drawn up also a list of 11 demands to put to public health officials. We started right away a write-in and call-in campaign. And we say that if the local health department can't deal with these are free testing for all, COVID treatment for all, free PPE and other measures. And if they can't deal and the county can't deal, they could go to the state. And if the state can't, then they go to the feds. But let me tell you this that you might not know, that here in California, just for the fiscal year 2019 to 2020, California gave $63 billion in tax breaks to the wealthiest corporations in the state. We think that money could come to help with the pandemic and help with other healthcare needs in general, other needs of the population. But ultimately, a comprehensive pandemic solution requires comprehensive healthcare for all. And this is in line with a demand, an international demand that was signed in 2015 by 193 countries, including the United States. It's called the 2030 Agenda, an agenda for countries to meet by 2030. It has 17 goals included in the agenda, and other countries have made some strides. Our government does not take action on this. And we are CCMP is entirely in line with goal 3, which is to ensure health and well-being of the population. We are drawing up posters to publicize these goals, and we will be getting that out and can get these to you. We're on part of a nationwide campaign to publicize the 2030 Agenda and the 17 goals for sustainable development. These are all sustainable development for the planet. I wanted to have Barry give a few words before we run out of our time. Barry, you with it? You can, your mic is muted, Barry.
Yes.
Barry?
Yes. Thank you for the opportunity to meet with you tonight.
Can we hear you? Can't hear you.
My name is Barry Pearl.
Oh, there.
I am a third-generation San Franciscan and a resident of the Ingleside neighborhood. I'm a retired city planner for the city and county of San Francisco with over 30 years of service. I'm the second generation in my family to support CCMP for more than 3 decades. Since my retirement, I've become a patient advocate for CCMP, and we're always looking for new volunteers because the need is so great. If any of you would be interested in giving your time and energy to help CCMP, please give us a call. Thank you very much.
I wanted to close with saying definitely we need volunteers, and we also do need sponsors of our COVID-19 campaign. Just for 1 month's expenses, we need $5,000. We also need a new van to pick up the food. You can imagine. We have many people going many directions, but we have one principal van for CCMP, and it's old and dilapidated. And immediately we need $500 worth of office supplies, ink and toner and other supplies. And I could provide a list of all those if any of you have an office supply store or something like that. But those are just to give you some idea of some of the needs. And financially, the needs are great, even though we are all volunteer. We hope each of you will respond. You can call me directly. Bob has my number and email, or hopefully you've been able to see this poster. It's a little hard to see. I put up the number here for the office. Bob, did you get the flyer to everybody about the COVID committee?
Watch your screen. Okay.
Watch my screen.
Oh, wow.
There you are.
All right.
That'll be available. That'll be on our site.
Great.
On our Facebook. Okay.
It will be available by request. It will not be on our site.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully we'll hear from each of you. And again, thank you so much for inviting us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Michelle, Barry, thank you very much.
Very good.
Yes. Bye.
Nice meeting everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Barry, I'm a historian. We need to talk, but we'll do that at another time.
Okay. Absolutely.
Okay. So we should, do you sign us out or we sign out?
Well, you can do that or you can sit around and listen, okay?
Okay. We'll hear how you carry your business.
Are you familiar with Clinic by the Bay?
Yes, I have heard of that. We have referred a few people to that.
One member of their staff is a member of our club here.
Oh, okay, good. I don't think they have dental, do they? Do they have dental and optical?
I don't know.
And I don't know.
I believe they do, but I believe it's also somewhat limited right now.
Yeah, right now it would be.
That is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, moving on. The minutes of the previous board meeting. Joe, you want to read those, or do we have those?
I'll read them at the next board meeting.
That's good stuff. Okay. Do we have some committee reports? What's going on with the youth and community, wherever it may be?
Youth and community is in a holding pattern right now, waiting for people to get back to me as to whether they're going to participate this year or not. So right now, hopefully before the end of the month, I will hear from a super majority of those people, but I won't know until it actually happens. If I do not hear in the next week or so, I'll start calling people.
Superb. Okay. And what about the football pool? Are we sold out?
Football pool's underway. Approximately a third have already paid up. I'm waiting for more returns, as always.
As the returns of life. Okay. The crab feed, I know we're still looking for a location. The one we had will not be available. I have, two in mind that I can get to that'll have what we need, and from the parking to the kitchen, etc. So I'm working on that. Once we get location, then we'll swing with the rest of it. Okay. We talked about other forms of raising money, and somebody came up with the idea of a drawing for gift cards. Notice the word drawing. We don't want to use the word raffle because that puts us in a different tax area.
Yeah.
So I hadn't looked around, but I don't know about gift cards or something people could do if they bought a product from Apple and send us a couple of bucks off of that. But I think that last one about Apple still needs to be, explored a little bit.
As the coronavirus infection.
Where'd that come from?
That came from Al, I think.
Al?
No, not from me.
Okay. Somebody's got a device that's talking someplace. It's not important.
Well, that's okay. We'll let him move on.
Bob, getting back to what you call a drawing, You can call it a drawing, you can call it anything you want, but it's still ruled or still has to be permitted by the state of California.
Oh, it does.
Yes, it does.
Ah, well, we'll put that up for discussion at a more private time. Okay.
Did anybody look into the Amazon thing?
Yeah, that's the one I want to look into. You know, it's at least a system, and we all use Amazon, especially the lady up here in the corner. And we had what, 2 deliveries today? Yes. Okay. But if that would help us, but we'll have to look into that and see if it
there are limitations to that. I did look into it a little bit. It's called the Amazon Smile program.
Ah, that's it.
And you can purchase from Amazon, but not just anything. You can only purchase selected from the items on the smile.amazon.com portion of their site. It's not anything.
Okay, well, it's something.
And I did look into it in terms of the selection, but I just gave it a cursory glance is all I did.
Okay, we'll take a deeper look at it.
Yes, it will require somebody to do a little bit of homework. Okay. So far, we're not so good at that.
Well, we'll get a little better. Okay, anybody have any announcements that they want to make about what's going on or what shouldn't be going on? Aaron, what's going on with your club? Where are you meeting, and what are you doing to keep things together?
We are Zooming just like you guys are. In fact, our club Zoomed at noontime today, but changed to 1:30 and nobody told me.
Oops, you didn't get the memo?
The memo, well, apparently, I guess the district governor changed her time.
That darn post office did it again.
So I would like to have a email that I attended your meeting today.
Well, here you are. It's a makeup meeting.
Yes, you got one in. That's important. Okay. As you know, Sharon's not here. Sharon's involved with the San Francisco Coordinating Council of Lions and all that sort of stuff. But I have something I was going to share with her, but I'll share it with you. They do a trivia quiz at their meetings, and it kind of gives a little entertainment to it. And what I'm going to do is she asked, I do the questions. So she asked me to do this. I'm going to ask you, you don't have to give any answers, but these are some of the trivia that about San Francisco. And,
well, let me open up Google first.
Oh, yeah. All right. Are you ready to go?
Well, you got to cheat when you can. Come on.
All right. Here's the first question.
Bob has all the answers.
No, I don't have. There's nothing here about answers. That's the only question.
Good.
Okay. Officially, how many hills are there in San Francisco?
How many what?
Hills. Oh, that must be outside. Okay, fine. Where's Graziano? That's something that comes from his house. How many hills are there in San Francisco?
11.
Officially.
7.
Okay. We'll pass on that. There are 17 official hills. Zenaida, is that right? Come on.
47.
47. There she is.
47?
Yes, there's, according to the city, but there are a lot more. You and I can get together, put a mound up in the middle of the street and have it another hill.
They must install some more speed bumps or something.
Yeah, could we use one out here in front of our house? And that's a subject we don't want to get into. It's been 3 years trying to get that. Okay. Who were the Sydney Ducks and where did they live?
Oh, I know.
Okay.
They were the gentlemen that caused all the trouble during the Vigilance Committee and times, and they lived down near the international settlement near Barbary Coast.
Very good. Why did they call them the Sydney Ducks?
They were all kind of guys from Australia.
Yes.
Guys that got transported there. Some were Irish vaguely and English, and you know.
In other words, they were arousal, whatever they were bad guys. Okay.
Hooligans.
Hooligans. Thank you. Good term.
There you go.
Thank you, Thank you, Marshall. We appreciate that. Okay.
Sure. Oh.
What? Now the next question is: what is the emblem in the center of the city flag?
I'll pass. I know.
St. Guinness?
The what?
Isn't it St. Guinness or
no, that's the beer.
One of the Roman gods or Greek gods or some god?
The Phoenix. There it is. Okay, it's the Phoenix.
Oh,
right.
Oh, okay. I was thinking the wrong. I was thinking
well,
California.
You're getting there. Now, what explorer is given the credit of finding San Francisco?
Great.
There's a street named after him, obviously.
I know he stayed on Angel Island, didn't he?
Okay, he came up from the south,
and
he named Alameda de la Pugas. There's another question. What is Pugas? You should know that one. And anyhow, it's Juan Baptista de Anza. Okay, that's it. Now there are a lot of other people. Okay, now Google. Somebody's Googled it already. Fine, thank you. Okay. Now you all should know this. What does yerba buena mean? Mr. Martin.
Good herb.
Good herb. Yes, sweet good herb. Yes.
Not the left-handed cigarette kind.
Okay, fine. Good. Way to go. Thank you, Marshall. We appreciate that. Okay. Why was Treasure Island built, and what happened to it?
It was built for the World's Fair.
World's Fair.
It wasn't the World's Fair. Okay. It was built for the World's Fair.
The Navy took over.
And then, well, they got the city to get involved because after the World's Fair, this will become the San Francisco airport. We can get out of Mills Field and go up there. Well, there were airplanes that landed there, very famous ones.
Pan American.
That were the Clipper ships who left here and went up. There's an excellent. It's called Across the Pacific. It's on KQED, and it gives you a great history on that. All right. Of course, what happened to it? It's still there. You know, we're trying to keep it alive, but now it's being built on, and we don't have to go there. We lost the best free market, didn't we, Zenny? The free market.
Yes.
Now, what is the oldest continuous teaching institute in San Francisco, established in 1855, where the Emporium was on Market Street?
Steve knows it again.
Of course he does.
I'll pass.
USF.
Well, that's what it became, but it was initially, it was originally St. Ignatius College, and there's a big plaque if we ever get downtown again on Market Street in there. And then after that, they built a big place out in Van Ness, and the earthquake took that out, and then they went up to the shirt factory across from St. Mary's. Then they built the school up on the top of the hill next to USF, and now they're a few blocks away from me here doing everything to their classes on Zoom now, which is keeping our son very busy. Now, here you go. What is the last building still in San Francisco from the 1915 Pan Pacific International Exposition?
It's Palace of Fine Arts, isn't it?
Very good.
Good one, Lyle.
Hey, very good. He has a list of my questions. Now, this should be an easy one. What is the only moving historical monument in San Francisco?
Cable car.
Yeah.
Cable cars. Cable cars. Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be wonderful. All right.
Done.
Now, one other thing. I know practically all of you are watching television, and if you need an expert on how to get on YouTube or to get on the Brit things and so forth. Zenny does that all the time. But some of us do read. And one of the things I'd like you to do, if you're reading anything, whether it's historical or hysterical, bring it next time and make a little report on it. Here's what I'm reading.
Oh, cool.
This is the story of the Doolittle Raid. Okay? Now, I know we've seen the movie, etc., and so forth with Fletcher Tracy and all that, and Van Johnson. Well, that's Hollywood history. This is the real stuff, and what happened to the guys that, you know, the two crews that are missing, etc. It's a very easy read book, but it's a new one, and I just thought I'd show that. So bring something that you're reading, even if it's something about plumbing, George. Bring something and educate us a little bit so we can keep the mind active.
I'm not going to read anything about plumbing.
You're after the birds. Yes, I have a shotgun. Shall I join you? Oh no. Okay.
Oh, they're the birds.
All right.
Is that the ranch crawl or what? The birds of Nevada.
Line President, you mentioned YouTube. And just to fill everybody's bucket with something to do, this is our YouTube channel.
Oh, cool.
At the end of last week, I completed editing and posting all of our meeting videos from all of our online meetings.
Anyway,
they're all up there. Yeah. If you're interested in what's going on, this is where to find it.
Cool.
So just go to YouTube and search on Geneva-Excelsior Lions.
Thank you. That's cool.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, Lion.
Let me just shut it off.
So there you go.
Okay, there you are. Look what Aaron had.
Geneva Mission Lions Club banner.
That's it. My
Aaron
God.
has it.
What a nice piece of club history. That's great.
I have to turn it off.
Okay, that's enough from me. Anybody want to make a comment or a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, if somebody else has to make the motions, then we
can still hear them. I'm going to shut it off.
Second motion.
Yes, I make the motion.
Okay, everybody in favor, I assume. And now Bob can go upstairs and cook dinner. And I'll see you all in a couple of weeks, okay?
Thank you for attending.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you so much.
Barry?
Thank you,
Barry,
Mike,
I'll contact
and
Sean,
Barry.
thank you.
Great.